in the market to buy a home in 2025, well, then you're in the right place. Don't get messed up, pay too much for the property, not understand what you're getting into. That's what I cover on this channel. So make sure you subscribe to it and then watch this video because this is my monthly market report. We're going to be covering the first month of 2025, January, and seeing what's going on in the market. And I do these every month as we go through the year here, and also have a ton of other videos. And I got people contacting me all the time from these videos that I do here. So my market reports are just the information on the different areas: Glens Falls, Saratoga, Clifton Park, all that stuff, Albany. So if you're looking in the capital region, you're living in the capital region, looking to move in there, or if you're relocating to the capital region from another area, then subscribe to the channel, check out my videos. Don't miss out on anything, but we're going to be covering January 2025 market report. Let's see what's going on right here. What is the hot market and what is going on now? So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to bring up this information. We're going to go through this stuff, and then we're going to give some thoughts and opinions as we go through this here. So we're going to share the screen. Bang, there we go. Okay, so we got our market summary for January 2025 here. Let me come right over, pop it up. So this is the capital region as a whole. This is the area that I cover as a real estate agent. And these are the numbers that we're looking at right here. So as you can see, we've been on a kind of a decline with the number of active listings, peaking over here in October with almost 2,400. Right now, we're down for it looks like the third straight month, down to 1,739 in January. But we're also in the middle of the slow season. So again, it's not really overly surprising that's where we're at. But let's look at this right here. This is the interesting thing. We've been on the downside for a little bit. Really, we peaked over here in May. And we kind of been going down. It took a steep turn over here in October through November, December. But in January, new listings did go up some. So we're starting to see that turn around and pop back up. The question is, does that trend continue? Not really sure. We're going to find out as we're going on. But now our list prices over here on this side stayed about even. It recovered a little bit, but stayed about even as far as the average sales price. We're sitting at just under 390,000. Okay, we're getting close to that 390,000 mark. But over here, as we see, the median sales price did drop from 320 down to 305. So that came down a little bit. So our absorption rate, again, it is on the decline. We're down here. We're just over 2 months of absorption rate. So no more houses pop on the market in 2 months. We won't have anything to sell. I'll be out of a job. Good thing for us is more coming on the market every time, and that's a good thing for you as well, buyers and sellers. So that's what we like to see, a nice healthy market coming in. So it is dropped down as far as the absorption rate, the number of properties there. So we're down to a little bit over 2 months. Right over here, so list to sold ratio right now on average, you're getting 97.3% of what the listing price is on the selling. Now that's on an average for the entire capital region here. So we're going to break this down into some regional areas here in just a bit and kind of talk about that. So days on the market has increased. It's up to a little over a month at 35 days. And if we come down here, one of my favorite things to look at is where is the price point that is selling the most. So for the capital region, the price point that is selling the most right now is this 200 range, because we've got to add these two together. So 200 to 300 range, we've got what, 230 sales for the month of January. We're down here, that 300 to 400 range, we had 166. That 500 plus 138. So that's where the biggest moves are, that 200 to 300 range in the capital region. So now let's go through. That's our general overview. Coming in here. Let's start with Saratoga Springs. What do we got? I'm going to take a list of the sold. I'll get rid of the pending and the sold. What do we got in Saratoga Springs? Look a little bit familiar? Looks almost the same of what we were looking at here for the general capital region. Again, it peaked over here in October. It's down again for the number of active listings. We're down to just over 100, 105. But our new listings did increase. Went from 28 up to 57. So a pretty good sized jump from December up to January. We had an influx of these new listings popping up in the January market here. So does that continue? We'll see in the February, but that'll come out in a couple weeks here when we get into January to get our February's numbers and able to talk about those a little bit. So our average sales price did drop. It was at 229. Now it's down to 829. So dropped quite a bit, 100,000 over there. But Saratoga tends to be our highest price point as far as the area is concerned. So sold median sales price. Okay. Since October, it has increased in Saratoga. And it did again this month. It jumped 30,000 from 675 to 705. That is our median sales price in Saratoga Springs. Absorption rate, they are above the average at about 2.8 months, so almost 3 months. List to sold ratio dropped again for the third month in a row, but still sitting at about 96%, so just slightly below the average for the capital region. And days on the market did go up. They're sitting about a month and a half for days on the market for Saratoga. And we come down here. Where is the biggest things that are going here in this area? So like I said, our highest price point in the area is Saratoga Springs. So, and this is no surprise. We've seen this quite a bit. 92 at 500 plus, where last year there was 88. So just about the same as it was. We're not seeing much of a difference from last year's numbers to this year's numbers, but 92. And then we got a big drop off once we get to that 400 to 500 range to 8. And then anything before that, he combined the 2 and 300. You're still only sitting at 4 properties out of that 200,000 range right there. So vast majority of these properties are 500 plus in Saratoga. Great if you're a seller. So if you're a seller and you want to know what your home is worth, my contact information is in the description below. Reach out and get a hold of me. I'd be more than happy. I'll do a free consultation for you. I'll put a report together, let you know what you could possibly get for your home if you were to list it on the market. All right, let's go to our next section here. Let's pop up. We're going to go to Clifton Park next. We'll work our way up here. So Clifton Park, again, let's remove the clutter here so we can kind of get a little bit of idea. Still a little bit clutter. Look at these lines. Zigzagging all over themselves back and forth here. But the new listings first, again, new listings went up from 18 to 28. So we saw that jump again. Okay, after the new year, everybody kind of got excited, put the house on the market apparently. We jumped up a little bit. Not quite that way because we were much higher over here. But we're still seeing that trend back up in the other direction. Now, our blue line, our active listings did decrease. So we got 38, 33, down to 28 active listings. Over here, average sales price. I'm going to take this out for a second so we can kind of figure this. Average sales price, $430,000 for the average sales price. Let's put this back in. Looks like it's going to be just about the same. Yeah, $430,000 for the medium sales price as well. Boom, coming down right here. The absorption rate is down to under a month in Clifton Park. So they're moving pretty good in that area. So list to sold ratio, they are getting over their asking price too. They're at 101.2%. And days on the market is at 40. So we're just over a month. Again, higher than the capital region average of that one. But where is the majority of these properties? What's the range you're selling them? Right here, as we can see, that 400 to 500 range. They've got 10 sales, 5 in that 500 plus. And in the 200, we had 3. In the 300 range, we had 4 sales. So the biggest is 400 to 500 range. If that's where your budget is, it's a great place to take a look in that Clifton Park area. Let's go here. Now we're coming up here, Albany. Again, same trend that we're seeing 2 months in a row on this one here. Down active listings at 82, but our new listings popped up from 41 to 54. Average sales price, about $290,000. The medium sales price is $277,000. That our absorption rate, 1.27 months, so a little bit over a month. And the list to sold ratio has decreased. It peaked way over here. All right. And that's July. So it's come over here. It dropped. It kind of came up a little bit and it's dropped the last 2 months. So we're at 90, but just about 97% for our list to sold ratio. Days on the market did increase to 25. So under a month there. And where are the biggest movers and shakers on this one? That 200 range, we got 30. You see, we got to add these because this is in increments of 50. This goes to increments of 100. So we got 30 in that 200 range, 19 in the 300 to 400 range. Then we got 3 and 3 from there on out. Next one. Let's talk about Boston Spa. We got Boston Spa, Queensbury. We're going to wrap up with Glens Falls here. But Boston Spa, we've got 18 new listings, which is up from 9. We got 34 active listings, which dropped from 37, so it's actually staying roughly about where it was. Our median sales price is $360,000, and our average sales price is about $375,000. So we're under that 400 range here in Boston Spa, and that mid to upper 300 range that we're seeing. The absorption rate is 1.69, so a little over a month and a half, about a month and 3/4. The sold to list ratio is sitting at 97.3%. So most of these areas we're seeing that list to sold ratio is about 97%. They're getting a little bit less than what they're asking for. And days on the market did go up to 24, so they're just over 3 weeks. And we come down here, we can see where's our biggest sales going on. Well, this 200 to 300 range had 5. That 300 to 400 range had 2. That 400 range had 3, and 2 over 500,000. So the biggest we're going to say is that 200 to 300 range, where we had 5 sales for that month. And sales are are down by about 4. So down 25%, as you can see from here, from year to year. Queensbury. So Queensbury, we've got, looks like it stayed about the same as far as new listings. It did. Active listings did drop down from 28. I'm going to take this out again because it's getting a little cluttered on me. So we got our average sales price is about 438,000. Medium sales price is 430,000. What we got? Absorption rate, about a month and a half for absorption, and the list to sold ratio is at 98.6, so a little higher than some of the other areas that we've seen. Days on the market is 47, 48 days. And the biggest area that we're going to see here is that 300 range. We got 5 sales in that area, 4 in that 200 to 300 range. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Missed this right here. 500 plus. We had 8 down here at that 500 plus. But that covers a pretty big area as far as it is. But in that 400 to 500 range, we had 4. That is Queensbury. And moving on to our last one, which is Glens Falls. Glens Falls is a small market. We don't see a lot there. Let's take that out. We got 11 active listings, along with 11 new listings. So it's right about on par with both of those. Average sales price is just above 250, 254, 255. Medium sales price is 242. So we're about that mid 200 range, it appears, for most of the properties in the Glens Falls, city of Glens Falls. Absorption rate, less than a month at 0.87. And the list to sold ratio, they're getting about 96% of what they're listing the properties for. And days on the market is 32 or 23 days. We're at 3 weeks on days on the market. And as we come down here, we see our biggest area, that 2 to 250. Nothing sold in the 250 to 300. Interesting. So we got 6 sales in that 2 to 250 range. We had 4 in the 300 range right in there. So we're going to say that 200 range is where most of these sales are taking place in there. So kind of one of our more affordable areas that we look at is in the Glens Falls market right there. And it's an up-and-coming area as well. A lot of new construction going on there that really vitalized that downtown area. So it's really looking pretty good. What we got there. So, all right. So that is one of the areas that we cover right there. Just a brief overview. Now, if you've got an area in the capital region that you think you want to move to, I didn't cover it in this. I can't cover everything. There's a lot of areas, obviously, that we do cover, and I can't go over all of them in this video. But if you got something you're interested in and you want more information, get a hold of me. My contact information is below. I'll be more than happy to look up that area, check out the numbers, get those numbers out to you, and have a conversation with you about it. Go over that whole the whole buying process and everything. If you're looking to sell, same thing. You want to have a home evaluation, you want to know what your property is worth, what can you get for it on the market, reach out and do a free home consultation, let you know what you could probably likely put your house on the market for, and give you some idea of what it would go for out there on the market today. So Subscribe to the channels. I got some new videos coming out here. I got my investor report coming out here in a week or so. So keep an eye out on that. If you're an investor, if you're looking for that, we're going to be covering multifamilies on that report right there. But other than that, great to see you guys again. That was the first month in January. So be on the lookout for February, which should be coming out soon. And I will catch you guys on the next video here.